All right, we are live right now, and slightly nerve-wracking day today. I don't know if you can see it right way back there. I'm gonna be doing some filming. I got a camera doing time lapse and got some footage, but I'm gonna keep a ways away from these guys. The well drillers are out today, and they already broke a bit, so that's not good. But they said it was an old one, so it's been on there for a couple of years, so it's not, nothing too bad. So they're trying to get it out right now. They only got it down a couple feet, so we are into bedrock right away, which they said that they like, and they're not concerned by that. Their stuff is made to drill bedrock. I've actually heard from some of the neighbors that when you get into the gravelly stuff, it's actually hard on their equipment. So I guess that's good news, other than the whole, broken bit thing. But yeah, still pretty nervous. Definitely a little bit anxious right now. And hopefully we can get this thing going and they can get that thing out of there and fixed and ready to rock. Well, good news is I guess we get a new bit, so hopefully it'll go a lot faster. It'll go fast today, but yeah, that's what's happening, and I'm doing as good as I can, getting video of it. It's a great day to do it. It's going to be probably 70 today, perfect day, and yeah, hopefully this thing goes in. They were talking about getting it done today, but I think now that they've been shut down for an hour or so, it might be tomorrow, hopefully. I hear machinery that's on, so that's good. But hopefully today or tomorrow, we'll have water, at least some amount of water, and see where we're at. Yeah, that's what's going on, and yeah, pretty nice day out right now. Look at that, perfect day for this. It's really nice, clear, not super hot. It's going to be nice and cooler today, so. Yeah, and I think we got a good spot. They had to do a bit of land clearing, or knock down a few trees just to clear some room for their drills and the sticks they're putting down there. But that's all. Oop, I hear some stuff being fixed. That's a good sign. So we had to clear a little bit out, but we found a good spot for it, and just kind of had to make some final adjustments on that. And I think I'm pretty happy with where it's at. It's yeah, probably about 120 feet from the cabin, and it's good to go. So yeah, I don't know, it's this land is not easy to work in, so there's it's gonna be an interesting adventure for the next phase of hooking this thing up. So solid bedrock's no fun to put into the ground, but we're gonna have to figure it out. So I think I got a comment on there asking if this is going to be a solar pump. Well, I don't know a whole lot about pumps. This guy's not putting in a pump, but I'd like to have a solar pump. And what does it cost to install? Well, up here they charge $30 a foot in bedrock. So these guys are a little bit more reasonable than some of the other people around. Some people don't like bedrock, some people do. These guys are set up for it. So what's up, Action Man? And yeah, I'd like to do a solar, or at least have an option for a solar pump. Maybe it just depends. It really just depends. This is one of those things that I can't control. I can do pretty much everything else. You can do septics, you can do modified septic systems and pump stuff, but this one, a well, is nothing. You don't know what's going to happen. Around here, it's anywhere from 150 feet deep to 400 feet deep, and water's pretty good, so a lot of people have good luck with that. But it's expensive. We've saved up for many years to do this. How long will the run to the house be? It's going to be about 120 feet. The run will be, and that was based on the well driller's suggestion or advice, because you need a septic, and it's got to be 100 feet from the septic. And so the septic has several places that we could put it, and if it ends up going that direction, this is going to be just about right, I think. So it seems far. I would have liked to have a little closer, but if you block the septic, then the septic's got to be way far away. I don't want that to happen. So and we're kind of on this viewpoint up here, so we want to keep that. Makes it more expensive. Makes it harder to do, you know, but nothing in life is that's good is easy, right? How we're getting water. I don't know what that means. Oh, before we're getting water. I don't know what that means. I'd like to answer your question, but ZEP R, before we're getting water. Yeah, and then Airborne Mike just asked, are you gonna put a hand pump in for now? All good questions, yeah, and this is all stuff that's going through my mind. I'd like to put one of those simple pumps in right away, and I know they have a solar option. It's about $3,000 for a self-contained solar pump unit. But I will be looking into that depending on what the static pressure is. And what that means is when this thing's done, a couple days later, the water's gonna rise up to where it's gonna stay. And around here, we usually have artesian pressure, and that's usually around, usually stays about 40, 50, 45 feet below the surface, which is really good. And that's what people are dealing with. So even if your well is 300 feet, a lot of times your water pressure, your static pressure is, or your static level is about 40, 45 feet below the surface. That makes it manageable for a hand pump. So yeah, my ideal situation is to have a 12 volt low pressure, a gallon a minute siphon into a cistern kind of situation, and then also have a deep well, high pressure pump that you can hook a generator up to and just go nuts. And then you can irrigate with that when your generator's on, you know, if you need to do some big stuff. And then when you don't, get a cistern and pump it full of water over time. That's my ideal situation. I'll be able to tell you if that's going to be a possibility here in about a day, like maybe 2 days. So, you know, because this thing could be 400 feet deep, I don't know, you know, and there's going to come a point where we're hoping we get some water. And, you know, we do have a budget for this thing, and once it hits that number, I'm hoping for water. So then we'll have to go to plan B. You know, we've done this whole property. If you guys have followed this channel for any length of time, we've done this whole property with cash. And so money and budget, it's pretty tight around here. But I know the neighbor over here got his done for, you know, it didn't sound scary. And it was, I think around 180 feet, 200 feet, something like that. It's pretty reasonable. So if we can do that, I'll be happy. And if we get any amount of water that's clean, I'll be happy. If we're into bedrock, the water will be clean, even if it's low gallons per minute. I hear something. That's good. It's a good sign. Something's moving over there. So hopefully they got that bit out of the ground and we can get started again. But that's the update. Try to do my best. I'm obviously pretty anxious. You know, there's no doubt about it. This is a big deal for us, you know, the D2S channel and family. I mean, this kind of, you know, this is kind of the second biggest moment from buying the property. So really, I mean, if we can't get water, you can't get water. You know, you pay a bunch of money and you might not get anything. That's how it works. So this guy's really confident. He's done a lot of wells in this area. He's very confident we will get water, but it's just a matter of how deep. I hear some turning of bits. That's a good sound. Bison pump, Airborne, yes, Airborne K or whatever. The Bison pump is one of two. There's the Bison pump and the simple pump. The Bison pump is very good. They're all about $1,200. They're expensive, but they're all deep well. The simple pump will go down to about 330 feet, I think, and the Bison is like 150 feet. So they both pressurize your tanks in your home system. So that's cool. How do you? Somebody asked how you test your water. Well, you need to test it, and there is you have to send it off to a lab. There's a place down here, just south of here, that you can drop the samples off, and they'll test it and make sure you're good to go. So around here, there's pretty good water. Like I said, these guys are into solid bedrock right now, so it should be pretty good. I've never heard of any bad quality water in this area, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm just worried about getting water. But yeah, we're thinking about that. I'm looking into the simple pump right now. I think they're about $1,000 to $1,200. But if you want the solar paneled linear motor. I think it's like a $3,000 setup or something like that. So it's expensive, but hey, if we can siphon out water and put it into a cistern up here, you notice we're on a hill, right? You see that down there? That's where the garden's gonna be. So it's all downhill, right? Yeah, it's expensive. Anything to do with water and pumps and stuff, expensive stuff. Save your money. But first things first, get the hole in the ground. Then we'll worry about the pumps once we figure out what we're dealing with. Some people around here, if your static pressure is really far down and your well's really deep, your only option is to go 220 and get a deep water pump, you know, and you just have to run a generator. That's just how it works. So you're kind of at the mercy of Mother Nature. I said a prayer over that hole over there, over that spot. So we're praying for water today. Hopefully tomorrow. It's a good year to put water in right now. 2020 is a good year to get water. I'll tell you that right now. So that's where we're at. If there's any more questions, fire them off fast. I'm going to shut this thing off. I'm hearing some well bits and stuff turning, so that's a good sign. That's a good sign right there. Yeah, the kind where you need to lift a handle. So when you put a wellhead, so this is going to be the wellhead going in right here. It's a steel casing at the top with a layer that it's a bentonite layer that seals it. And so you can mount those hand. What are they called? There's a name for them. They're like a cold weather water faucet kind of deal, farm thing. What you're talking about there. Comment about, well, I just heard you can put a water faucet on there. Well, you do need power to do that. You still need to plug into a generator to do that because we don't have power. Our nearest power is down the hill about 1,000 feet. Okay, so it's expensive, and as you can see, they're dealing with bedrock, so it's expensive to get power up here. So we're probably going to do solar at some point, or in some level, and generators. So yeah, what was I going to tell you? Yeah, the faucet thing is you need pressure. You still need a pump to pump it into the faucet and go. So that's you don't just put a faucet on there and turn it on. So obviously we're going to need to upgrade that solar panel system right there. Slightly too small for what we're talking about here. I'm hearing stuff turning. I'm seeing stuff moving. That's a good sign. These guys know what they're doing. They've done this for a while. Zeep R, thank you. Thanks for the well wishes. Can't wait for the finished vid. Hey, I can't wait. I hope the finished vid comes out tomorrow. Pray that this comes out tomorrow and is done tomorrow, at least. Maybe today. Probably not today. Pretty cool. Yeah, these guys got here early and they got after it, so yeah, it's pretty intense. All right, guys, well, I'll keep you updated. Maybe I'll just do some live videos throughout the day and just keep you posted. If we start hitting water, I'm going to be doing some time lapse and some video, and I'll post it up later, but I'll just kind of do the live thing just because, you know, I can do it whenever I can. Family's going to be coming up here in a couple hours probably to check it out, so hopefully they have something to show for at that point. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I hear movement. That's a good sign. All right, I'll keep you guys updated. See you on the next one.